Good morning, everyone. Let me introduce myself to you. My name is E. Avinash Chopri Gaur. I am from Computer Science and Engineering AI and ML branch. My roll number is 234G1A3313. Today, I am going to talk about active voice and passive voice. Voice. Voice is the form a verb takes to indicate whether the subject of the verb performs or receives the action. There are two types of voices: active voice, passive voice. The active voice. Active voice indicates that the verb is acting because subject does or acts upon the verb in such sentence or said to be in the active voice. These examples show that the subject is doing verb's action. The dog jumped onto the boy. The dog subject is doing the jumping verb. Rani will give a book report to the class. Rani subject is doing the giving verb. Passive voice. Passive voice. The subject and the object flip-flop. The subject becomes the passive recipient of the action because the subject is being acted upon or is passive. Such sentences are said to be in passive voice. Passive voice. These examples show the subject being acted upon by the verb. A book report will be given by Jason to the class. Report subject will be given verb. My paper was eaten by the cat. Paper subject was being eaten verb. Differences between active voice and passive voice. Voice active, what subject does. Passive, the focus is on the action. Examples of active and passive voice. Active, Ram killed Ravan. Passive, Ravan was killed by Ram. Active voice, the subject of a sentence takes action usually by performing an action or making a statement. Example of active voice: she is writing this essay. Passive voice, the subject of a sentence receives action instead of performing it. Example: this essay is written by her. Active voice and passive voice according to the tense. Tense, active voice, passive voice. Present indefinite tense. Active voice: do or does or is. Passive voice: is or am or are. Tense. Past indefinite tense. Active voice: second form or did. Passive voice: was, were. Future indefinite tense. Active voice: will or shall. Passive voice: will or shall plus be. Present continuous tense. Active voice: is or am or are. Passive voice: is or am or are plus being. Then past continuous tense. Active voice: was or were. Passive voice: was or were plus being. Present perfect tense: has or have. Passive voice: has or have plus been. Past perfect tense. Active voice: had. Passive voice: had been. Future perfect tense. Active voice: will or shall plus have. Passive voice: will or shall plus have plus been. Sentence structures. Construction of active voice. Subject plus verb plus object. Example: cat eat fish. Construction of passive voice. Subject plus auxiliary verb be plus main verb past participle. Example: fish is eaten by a cat. Now let's review the topics what we have discussed. Voice is the quality of a verb which indicates whether the subject acts or is being acted upon. Active voice. The voice used to indicate that the grammatical subject of the verb is performing an action or causing the happening denoted by the verb. Passive voice. The voice used to indicate that the grammatical subject of the verb is the recipient of the action denoted by the verb. Thank you for giving me this wonderful opportunity. Have a nice day.